Hello there, this is Napoleon speaking, and welcome to Napoleon Total War, where today I bring you a 4v4, a very massive battle, where a lot of shooting and a lot of bayoneting is going to be involved. We have a whole bunch of actions today, with 8 players going to fight on this map, Syrian Ridge, I do believe the name is called, with a bunch of hills down the middle and a bunch of forest, which I don't know how they appear with so little concentration of water, although maybe that's a... actually, that's a lot, but that's a bunch of... that's a big concentration of water. But yeah, this is going to be a very bloody... maybe not so close, but very bloody. Oh, spoiler alert. But it's going to be a bloodbath. Yeah, I can promise you that much. So, when we look at the teams, I won't be looking at the army composition today because it's just a lot of shit. On this side, we have the Ottomans. We have the British. We have another British. And lastly, we have the French, which are more like a... rather than French, they're more like a coalition of different forces because they have like Polish Legion, Swiss Foot, what else, like Dutch Landsmen, Polish Guard Landsmen. They have very little French in this army. It's mostly foreign soldiers. Yeah, they're more like a foreign coalition of soldiers. Going over to this side, we have the Scottish. We flying on the British shore, but it's mostly Highland foot. It's a whole bunch of men in skirts, and also some German people. Yeah, no, there's not Scottish men. We're more yeah, over here, more Scotsmen, a lot of Scotsmen, and a lot of... oh, there's some Russians. We also have Russians opposing this army. A lot of Hulans, Musketeers, more Frenchmen, which are properly French, I believe. Yeah, more French than although Swiss. Okay, maybe not so French. Old Guard. Oh, there's a lot of Old Guard and Young Guard. That's surprising to see. I don't see a lot of... I mean, I see like 1 unit, but not 3 of them. That's going to be cool. Going over lastly to me, another Russia with a lot of Musketeers and a reserve of Guard with a lot of Cossacks to support. You just have a whole bunch of Cossack cavalry and a bit of hussars. Which, I mean, good cavalry, but the Ottomans are bringing a whole bunch of their own cavalry. Sipahi cavalry, which are not to be messed with. These guys can pretty much destroy most of the enemy cavalry in the game. And we are starting the game now on this side with a whole bunch of cavalry charges all around the battlefield. We are seeing cavalry charges from here, and from here. The Frenchmen trying to get into the British lines and are going to succeed with a good old charge into the light foot and are going to practically, yeah, start making a lot of casualties. The bullet sounds is not loading in. I don't know why. Let's hope that
running, sir.
Oh, that's better said. Let's hope that doesn't. Oh, that we have a bit of bullets. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of cavalry fighting going all over here. It appears that the Russians have been able to take over this hill. The Frenchmen have also claimed this hill, but they're going to retreat with the amassing of the British army. These chasseurs are not going to be enough to you know, keep at bay the rest of the enemy. Meanwhile, the Russians have claimed this hill, which is going to be very useful for their team. Especially because it seems that the British over on this side, we're going to call them the Scottish because they're meant Scottish, so as to not confuse them with the other 2 British colors. Because it seems like Scotland over here is more being defensive, while there's a bit of a movement move of King German Legion foot. Going over to the Frenchmen of the middle, we are seeing a whole bunch of cavalry fighting still. Some camel gunners, that's surprising to see, but that Cossack cavalry is charging them away and trying to get rid of those bastards. Oh, and they're going to be able to get into the light infantry, but no, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get into the light infantry. They're going to slaughter these guys though. I mean, they might die. There's just a whole... yeah, they died, but they did a whole bunch of damage to these cavalry units. That was a good trade in my mind. Oh, and this Sipahi cavalry is going to get massacred with these square formations. They managed to get a charge into the chasseurs, but probably not a good trade in my mind, at least. But yeah, on this side, on this right flank, the Ottomans have managed to take over the high ground pretty nicely. Not a lot of fight over it, and the British are fighting the Frenchmen over it. Some Polish Legion charging at the light foot. It's going to be a good charge. I mean, a lot of them died just trying to get into the fight, but Yeah, they're going to be able to bayonet these guys. Over here, the Russians are still in control, and I don't think they're getting a lot of shots into the enemy. Let's go and look. No, I think everyone is just shooting at the dirt. Yeah, I just think everyone is shooting at the dirt. The Russians might want to get the rest of the army up on that hill if they want to keep the control over it. Over here, the Scottish have managed to take control over on this hill, and the Frenchmen are preparing. Oh, not the Frenchmen. The Foreign Legion of Polish and Swiss are preparing for an advance over here. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it. They have to get over this hill, and then are just going to get shot to pieces by the German foot. Although on this side we are seeing some fight with the Chasseurs and the 6th Regiment, the Infantry Leger, or however you pronounce it, trying to harass the Highland foot. Let's see how effective that's going to be. They're trying to break cover. They're trying to like break this flank and maybe roll over the Russians, who had still not gotten into the hill. I find that surprising. Over here, more fighting. The Polish Legion just butchering this light foot, just going to town over here. Some Royal Scots Grey tried to get into the Chasseurs, but they got butchered by the looks of it. I don't know how they, like, maybe through this side they managed to get through. I'm not too sure. Some hussars coming into support from the Russians. On this side, not a whole lot is going on. My Russia has managed to take control of this little forestry area, and is now beginning to take some pot shots at the Ottoman light infantry, who is as well trying to just shoot away across the forest. But there's not a lot of shots that are going to be able to go across all these trees. The rest of the army just keeping close, not doing a lot, but the reserves, the guard, the Semiramisky Light Guard, the Light Guard foot, and the other Light Guard foot are moving out. Maybe to support the Frenchmen, but we are going to see that Frenchmen might like support because they're going to get a bit double team by both the Ottomans and the British. Although by the looks of it, not the best of the Ottoman infantry is being sent to fight them. Yeah, these are just irregulars. They're going to be able to. I mean, they're going to shoot. They're going to obviously kill men, but these guys are not going to be changing well against the Young Guard. Oof. Yeah, definitely not against the Young Guards, and maybe not as well against the Polish Legion and the huge amount of Chasseurs. Ooh, but this hill position is very smart by the British. They're going to be able to fire in the flank of this. Yeah, they will just overwhelm these poor Chasseurs with this amount of firepower. Just too much firepower. And over here, the Russians are starting to lose their position in the hill. The Russian Jaegers and the Musketeers, Moscow Musketeers, are starting to go a little bit back. They probably should send reinforcements, but they are a bit compromised with some more Russian Jaegers trying to support the French. So we'll see about that. In the middle, another charge by the Light Dragoons going into the Russian Jaegers, who are going to retreat. Sadly, there's no infantry over here. This is just militia who doesn't know how to form a square formation. So these guys, these Light Dragoons, are just going to be able to go to town on these poor guys, just shopping and kicking and killing everyone. Counter-charge by the Uhlans are going to try to stop these guys in their tracks. And some fighting over here with the Scottish fighting the British and the French Foreign Legion. This is just going. Oh, this is going to be a bloodbath. Just look at the amounts of bodies already over here. A brutal melee combat. Polish Legion against the Highland Foot, and breaking the Highland Foot. The Scottish are losing men and they're losing ground, and they're going to start retreating from this hill. That's a big loss for the British. I mean, for the Scottish. And now the Dragoon Guards are just getting butchered. Charging into a square formation. They are just not. This is just not their day. And now a charge by the Russian cavalry. They are getting butchered by the shot, but they might be able to take down the. Oh, they managed to get into the King German Legion and a bit into the Connaught Rangers. The Foot Guards managed to form a square formation, but these guys actually had to buy the charge and are now starting to take some losses. The French Foreign Legion is now moving down this little hill between the river and the forest, trying to put some pressure on the Scottish infantry. And the rest of the army is just hanging back. The Scottish retreated from this side. Yeah, they have been taking a lot of casualties over in this middle area, so yeah, probably going to give some ground. Meanwhile, the Russians are still holding on to this hill, not with a lot of men, but the British don't appear to be too keen on trying to come over there. Maybe they don't want to take the losses. Ooh, over here, a very big charge by the Russian Hussars, going into the Ottoman light infantry and just going to town on these poor guys. Oh, and now a huge cavalry battle. The Ottomans responding with their CPA cavalry and the Hussars running for their goddamn lives. They don't want to get into that fight. No, sir. The camels shooting in the back of the Hussars, but they are going to retreat into friendly territory behind the Young Guard and the French infantry are going to support them. Oh, but the camel gunners are going in for a charge, I think? Yeah. Oh, they ignore. I think the camel gunners ignore square formation, which is pretty fun to see. The bulk of my Russian army is still just hanging back, trying to keep this other part of the Ottoman army in place. A few shots are still being exchanged by the light infantry, but not really a lot is going on around here. Like just that little cavalry exchange and my guard infantry, which is already still moving, still marching into a place where to fight. But meanwhile, over here in this side, the Frenchmen are taking ludicrous casualties. They are just getting shot by way too many places. These guys need to hang back, and no, the chasseurs are now running away. Oh god, what the hell happened here? Oh, what the fuck happened? Just look at the amount of that Polish legion. What the hell happened over here? By the looks of it, a cavalry unit managed to get into the French lines and just completely butcher the Polish legion, because I don't have any other explanation for how many dead guys are around here. Maybe they just got shot to pieces like very quickly, because oh lord, that's like 50 guys just in this little corner. But yeah, the French are taking very atrocious casualties. The British are being very good with their position, and they are just able to keep shooting at the enemy without without a lot of punishment. More Hussars going harassing the Ottoman lines. Let's go over to the middle where the Russians are just trying to fight alongside the French against the British. Some traitor Highland foot fighting for this side, just shooting away, trying to do some damage to the Russian and the French, but they are just hanging back with their range advantage and just doing very much a lot of damage to these poor guys. Over on the left flank, the battle continues. The Foreign Legion is still trying to take out the Scotsmen, who are going to oh no, the light foot is going to take a good charge by the Polish lancers, who managed to get into this light foot without any punishment, and now they're just going to start stabbing them with their lances. Just a good charge by this French player. They identified a target and just got in and dealt some very good casualties, although sadly the Polish guard lancers are going to start retreating. Pretty unfortunate, but what can you do? Some charge by some Polish legion into the Scottish. I don't know what these guys are doing. They're just hanging back. I mean, they might have taken a lot of casualties, so maybe they don't have a lot of options, but I don't think they have taken a lot of casualties. I mean, in this side they're starting to move in with the bulk of their army, but in this side they don't have a lot left. They must have lost a whole bunch of units in like the melee in the initial starts of the battle. If the Scotsmen just they're moving in, they're starting to use their superiority in numbers on this side to try to hit the enemy. Meanwhile, in the center, a big old charge by the cavalry. There's a lot of cavalry action in this battle. You don't see that a lot in Napoleon, I feel like. And the charge by the foot as well into the musketeers. Uhlans facing against King German. Oh god, King German with the light dragoons, and just a whole bunch of fighting in general. And and we have the life guard finally mobilizing. A bit of a scuffle over here. I think it was a cavalry charge. I'm not sure.
Has used all its ammunition, sir.
Oh, and it looks like the light infantry over here has finally run out of ammunition. Pretty unfortunate. I probably need to start mobilizing my army soon, because these guys are just hanging back and the rest of the army is just getting pretty bloody into the fight. Over here, the Semenorsky life guard and where's the other one? Is that one over here? No, I don't know where the, oh yeah, over here. And the light guard foot coming to relieve the Russian brothers and is going to shoot away into the enemy. We are seeing some semi-Janissaries getting into position. Oh, and this is going to be dangerous. This is going to be dangerous. These guys, if they get into melee combat, are going to deal a whole bunch of damage into those guard units.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
And yeah, this Seminole life guard is just running away. Run the fuck away. We don't want to get into that. And the Janissaries are going to escape and charge. Ooh. Sadly, a charge probably going for the semi-Janissaries is going to disrupt the formation of the light guard foot and also deal some casualties, which is quite unfortunate. But this guard units are probably going to be having a field day over here. Any forces that are over here are pretty exhausted and are not in the same amount of quality as them, so they should be able to hang in there pretty nicely. The battle for the hill continues as the Russian and the British keep on fighting. Musketeers facing on against traitors Highland of Foot. Some more foot units being sent their way, and not a lot of reserves for this hill, but a whole bunch is being pushed on this side against the Scottish, against Scotland. So maybe that flank is in danger. We'll get to see. We'll have to see. Oh yeah, a whole bunch of shooting coming. Coming over here, the flank of Scotland is getting pressured very hard, and they're going to retreat. They have taken some minor casualties, and yeah, they're going to start to retreat. Don't want to take that fight. They are slowly pressuring, like slowly pushing the Scottish back, just without a few advances at a time. Over here, the semi-Janissaries are going to get charged in. They went for another charge against the cavalry. I mean, not against the cavalry, against the guard, and are going to get charged by some some lancers, some Lancers cavalry, and some hussars. And these poor Janissaries are going to have a bad time, especially if this light guard foot just turns around and starts shooting at them. But they appear to be just running away. The battle continues over here. More Janissaries charging down into the French lines and just swinging their swords.
Our men are running.
Yeah, but these guys didn't. Oh yeah, they got butchered. Yeah, I think it was that positioning from the chasseurs and the square formation that managed to deal very effectively with the semi-chasseurs. Very good positioning by this guy, by this French player. He did very good positioning that side. Over here, life guard of foot fighting that semi-Janissaries. That's not good for a life guard. I mean, they're going to probably be able to beat these guys, especially because they're tired and got shot at, and they're very low in number. But you don't want to see your life guard of foot get charged by these guys, especially not if they're going to get shot in the back by more life guards. Oh yeah, in general, the ball seems to be progressing quite good. Well, more like quite evenly. Oh, over here, the British have managed to finally take over the hill from the Russians, so they still have a bunch of reserves. Life guard of foot. Oh yeah, just more guard. The Russian guard never stops existing. But over on this side, the Foreign Legion is just continuously pushing. They have not taken a huge amount of casualties. They have still a very strong army. I mean, so does Scotland, but they just have to keep retreating because they cannot take this engagement. They have a range superiority and number superiority, I think. Some Lightfoot staying in the forest, just shooting away, trying to do their job. Oh, and a whole bunch of shooting coming from this side from more Lightfoot into the Scottish. Yeah, into the Scottish. They are moving forward now. Lightfoot coming for some shots, and over here we are seeing more British. Just a whole bunch of butchery over this side. Just a whole bunch of butchery. In this side, my guard is having a lot of success. These guys got pretty bloody. This British army got pretty bloody by the time my guard got here, so they're going to have a good time. They're going to have a good time just shooting, just slowly pushing these guys away. A charge into the Seminoles blind guard, and it's not going well for this foot. It's definitely not going well. Oh, but the officer got bayoneted. That's very sad. Oh, but this guy. Oh, there's just a whole bunch of dying over here. I mean, the Seminoski Lifeguard is going to win that, but they appear to be taking casualties. Sadly but true. Sad but true. In this side, the French army is just in its last legs. They definitely don't have a lot left, and if this army doesn't move, these guys are going. Oh, there finally some movement is coming over this side, but they should have to send more men over here because the Frenchmen are on the last troops. They have Polish Legion, John Guard, Polish Legion. What happened to the Old Guard? I didn't see the Old Guard being deployed.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
Oh, it's on this side. Okay, so they're fighting. They're fighting the Ottomans. Oh, the Ottoman swords are coming in. They're going to challenge the Old Guard to a melee contest, which I don't think the Ottoman swords are going to win, honestly. But yeah, I probably need to start sending all of my reserves, like, quickly over to this side, because this side is going to collapse very soon if they don't get any support. Over on this side, it looks like I cannot tell who this army was for. So just a whole bunch of breaking, because if you have the British army facing against a British army, it's very hard to see who's winning. Because everyone is a British. Everyone is a fucking British. But it just generally looks like the East army is progressing quite well. They just keep pushing, keep sending men, and keep shooting. And the Scottish are just getting outnumbered and in number of guns and in number of men. So they're just being cheaper away. I mean, they have dealt damage to the Foreign Legion and the British, but they're running out of options. And now they're going for a charge, and I don't know how well that's going to work. Oh, the cheeky bastards are going to retreat. Oh, they're going. No. They're sending the Polish Legion. Oh, and sadly, the King German foot is not going to go into a charge, so they're going to eat that charge head on. And yeah, they're not going to get their charge bonus, which is pretty sad for them. More King German Legion. There's not any reserve for the British, so maybe if this Lifeguard just continues to push and my reserves come over here, I don't think the Ottomans have a lot of reserves as well. So maybe the battle could go our way if I can just start sending all of my army over here. And we are seeing some movement. My musketeers are starting to be sent in against this infantry. Russian Jaegers are going to lead the charge. Probably run out of ammo from all that shooting, so not the worst thing to happen. Although these musketeers probably also want to get into to charge in. They also probably want to charge in and not shot in the back of their own men. Oh, that poor Jaeger. Do you see that 17 Jaeger has got bayoneted in the back by this Ottoman infantry? But let's try to look at a little duel over here. Oh, it's going in. Just oh, he killed him. Oh, that's very nice from my Jaegers. They managed to kill him, and we see a general charge from the French trying to break what remains of the Ottomans. And they should be able to succeed. They have John Guard, Old Guard, Polish Legion, and some Cossack cavalry supporting them. I think they should be able to do that. The Old Guard is still alive, but they're taking... Oh god, they're just getting shot in the back by the King German foot. The Life Guard is breaking this flank, but it's going to be very... Oh, and they're getting shot in the side by the Bolshevik Guard, which is very unfortunate. Yeah, this Russian player just is also on his last legs. He has been fighting tooth and nail to keep this hill, but he has been getting hit on the flank by the other British player and also by this side in general. So yeah, he has been taking a lot of, I mean, he has stood his ground as best as he could, but yeah, it's time to die. He has some guard left, so he can probably still hold the line, especially this forest, but I don't know how long that's going to be. Some movement, my guard is starting to move up, trying to probably finish up these last remaining bits of British units. I mean, just look at this side of the... I mean, just look at the battlefield in general. The amount of bodies on this freaking battlefield is unreal. More fighting going on over here. My army is finally starting to move up, but they probably need to move faster. Just an idea.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Yeah, just an idea. They need to move faster. Ignore the fatigue. They need to get into the battlefield because the French are dead. They only have like 2 units, 2 chasseur units, and their general, and this 1 unit of what are they? Swiss foot. So yeah, the French are dead. This whole flank, this whole side of the center is dead. This side of the center is about to collapse. Maybe not. I mean, if they get hit, they might collapse. But right now, they are in.
Our men are running, sir.
In a decent position. The Scottish are getting pushed back by the French still. These poor 88 foot of Connaught Rangers are being left behind to fend off the French assault, and I'm not sure if they're going to manage it. A general has died for Tormenta. One of my allies has finally, I think it was a French, yeah. The French just lost his general, so he is completely out of the game. The rest of my army is finally moving. Some Ottoman infantry is still over there. These guys need to charge. They just need to charge, run down the Ottoman infantry and move in to support what remains.
Our men are running, sir.
Oh, shut up. They need to go and support what remains of the French. I mean, not the French, of the other Russians. Oh, another general died. For Jair, the Scottish player, but another general for for one of the British players. He charged his general in some guard, and even though there was no guard formation, he got killed. Some shooting over here against Coldstream Guard, against Light Guard of Foot, and some more Coldstream Guard. They're probably not going to win that engagement, especially because these guys are in the forest. Oh, and the poor Count von Beringsen and General Staff fighting the Russian. Oh, more cavalry. So yeah, the Russian, that General Staff is dead. The Scottish have been broken. They have very few men remaining. The French have just been chipping away at them constantly and charging. Just look at this. I mean, this was where the main fighting on the left flank went. You cannot tell me otherwise. Just look at the field of this whole place is going to be sprouting with trees. I'm telling you what, this whole battle just made a new forest. That's that's for sure. A new forest is going to spring to life over here. And sadly, it looks like my reserves are not going to be able to turn tide. They've been taking a lot of casualties. Some fighting over here, musketeers against some Janissaries. Yeah, I only have 3 full units remaining. Yeah, there was a lot of men over here, but the Ottomans managed to bloody me with the constant charges that I didn't answer with my own charges. So that's a defeat by me. Over in the center was probably lost because of superior positioning by the enemy. Honestly, no fault of my allies. They just got
Our men are running, sir.
Yeah. They just got a bad deal. These light guards just charging down the Coldstream Guards. Maybe they will able to win. Oh, a lot of them are dying already. Yeah, the Coldstream Guards are getting destroyed by the light guard. Oh, nice. Although it didn't say the light guard is no. Yep, they're going to break, and sadly they lost the battle. Probably because this chick is shooting in the back. More charging, more light guard going to fight more foot guard. This is the last stand of this rush. Oh god, my arm got. Okay, sorry about that. My arm got stuck in a hole in something. Oh, and the Ottoman general going on with another cavalry charge. More fighting over here. My whole army just got butchered in this forest. I'm not sure why. Well, no. I'm sure why. Charging. Just look at where they're at. They just charged me down, and I.
Sir, our general is under attack.
Oh no, my general is under attack, fighting the Ottoman general. But yeah, the battle is lost. The battle is completely lost. The Scottish army is trying to retreat into the forest to fight whatever to shoot away as much as they can of their armor. But the French are just. I mean, the French have superior numbers. They have superior range. So, oh, my general is dead. That's very sad. Yeah, I mean, there's no many ways I can say that what I am already saying. We are losing and we have lost. Sadly, all of my reserves that I have over here, like 7 units, went into the forest and got butchered. They sadly got butchered. They got charged down by the Ottomans and got butchered. That's the sad reality. I didn't manage to send. They probably should have sent it this way. But yeah, I lost a lot of men over here, and I probably just lost my team that battle because those 7 units.
Our men are running, sir.
In support of this Scotsman, of this Scotsman, might have been able to go on the battle, but we will never know because they didn't manage to get in the field battle. It looks like what remain of the other Scottish player is, all of the other Russian player. It seems like what remain of the other Russian player is finally dead. There's not anything left, and it's now just some cleanup operations. The French are moving. The Foreign Legion is moving in. There's 80 Brave and the Swiss Foot, and they're just going to shoot away at the enemy with some charging by the Ottoman general. Over here, my last remaining units managed to bloody the British very efficiently in this side, and also on this side, I think. But it's over. It's over. I only have 3 units of musketeers left, very tired and very depleted. This is not going to be able to change the course of the battle. Foot guard moving in. The remains of this Scottish army is hiding in the forest, shooting away, killing as many Frenchmen as they can before they die. But they're getting flanked by the Swiss Foot. Some fighting in the forest over here, charging into the remaining British army, trying to do with one last hurrah to destroy what remains of the British army at the very least, even if not destroying the Foreign Legion. The Highland Foot and the German Legion bravely shooting away, using all of their shots to kill at least more Polish and Swiss men, but they're about to be collapsing. Over on this side, some fighting against the Ottoman general with some Jaegers. This charge is losing steam, and this whole battle is going to be ending very, very soon. Let's just admire this fight, like for the last time before they all die. Doing their best, killing as many British as they can, and ultimately failing to achieve victory. If the battle was to see how many men died, well, we won because we got butchered. Oh boy! But just look at the amount of the concentration of dead in this area. Like it's for my why.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
I know. Don't worry. It forms like a little Y. Like they think they retreated from this side and just got the battle just ended on this side. Oh yeah, that was a pretty interesting battle. A whole bunch of positioning. The middle was defeated by better positioning. My flank was defeated by my shit tactics. And the right was also, and the left was also defeated by better position. Oh god, he's just getting butchered now. Being shot at from all sides. Oh no, the poor Scotsmen, or however the fuck you call them. They don't have a chance in hell to win now. This is just an execution. He could at least charge them. He's just executing them. Oh, but the Highland Foot are not going to stay inside the fray of the enemy. They're going in for one last charge against the Swiss Foot, and they break. So that last charge didn't materialize. But on this side they did. The Highland Foot going against the Swiss and doing their last hurrah. They're not doing half bad. They are not doing half bad. Over here, my last remaining units are dying in combat, trying to break the foot guards. They might be able to. No, they broke. They broke. The only remaining unit I think is on this side. So let's just admire their last grasps at victory. Oh, they broke. So as soon as I arrived, they broke. That's very sad. Yeah, that was the end of the battle. A pretty victory, but a victory nonetheless for the French Foreign Legion, the British, and the Ottomans. You can see now the names of the player. Arma Viviente and Jair 125 are two of my pals who were playing on this day with me. And oh my god, Jair, what the fuck? I didn't know. 2,300. I mean, he just butchered the British and the French more than I figured. Oh lord. Yeah, probably this middle fighting was what happened because. Oh lord, yeah, he must have butchered quite a lot of men on this side. Because I don't think it happened on this main side. I think it happened on this flank. But yeah, that's MVP. MVP, he guarded the flank for the Russians, for Arma Viviente, as long as he could, and did an excellent job about it. Pretty good MVP, honestly. Meanwhile, Arma Viviente, sadly, better positioning by the enemy. He just got outplayed by the enemy. And I mean, they were just supporting each other very efficiently. And he just got where he was getting shot by all sides. Tormenta, same story. And me, I mean, I killed 1,900, which was good, but I could have turned the battle around, and I failed. Nice play by the Ottoman player. Honestly, he did pretty good fighting off two armies at the same time. And nice play by everyone, except maybe the French, because he just kind of got butchered. But anyway, that was a pretty good battle. That was a pretty nice battle. We lost, sadly. I seem to be bringing a lot of losses in general. Oh lord, 345 for the lifeguard food. 200. Oh yeah, my lifeguard was my food was carrying me. 20 for the custom cover. Some of that even just butchered. Yeah, but that's what happens. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. It was a pretty fucking big one. Like, it's approaching 40 minutes. Yikers. I hope someone sits through all of this. But anyway, as I was saying, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next time. If you enjoyed this, please at least send a like. It will be very much appreciated. Anyway, have a good day, and goodbye.